What is the deal, YouTube? What is the deal, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, um, first game of the day. I did not get to watch the first half of the game. I basically got off of work to just in time to watch most of the second half of the game. An up and down game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. At one point, they were down like 28-7. They came roaring back on this very, very good defense. Um, they actually put up 42 points versus one of the better defenses in the NFL. But Jacksonville, behind a very strong performance by Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles playing a very, very strong game. And most importantly, Blake Bortles not throwing the ball away. They got 3 touchdowns from Leonard Fournette, a very strong game from Leonard Fournette. 3 touchdowns from Fournette and 109 yards on 25 carries. Another one from TJ Yeldon. And then just a few back-breaking plays when the Steelers looked like they could possibly, when they looked like they could possibly have an opportunity to come back. The Jacksonville Jaguars behind Blake Bortles went right down the field and answered. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they gave up some momentum, but they kept the momentum at the same time. Because usually when you see a team start to come back like that, that team grabs and seizes the momentum. What the fuck? All right. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's the official call here.
Are in the AFC Championship game for the first time since 1999. They knock off the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
So for the first time since 1999, Jacksonville will head to.
What a performance by Jacksonville. The wild card round in 2007, Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh 31-29.
All right, so
Jones drew a Scobie field goal.
All right, so next game will be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New England Patriots. My predictions have been ass this whole playoffs. They've been absolute trash. The only teams I've really gotten right was the Saints and the Patriots, and today I got the Saints beating the Vikings. But with the way my predictions have went this season, the Vikings will probably come out and knock off the Saints because that's the way my predictions have went. But yeah, nice win from a young defense. Listen, the Jacksonville Jaguars went and they got Jalen Ramsey to cover one side. Then in the free agency, they went and they got a guy like AJ Boye. They now have the best secondary in football. You had Church. I thought they should have kept fucking Jonathan Cyprian as well. He looked solid yesterday as well on certain instances. They've got Miles Jack. They got that those linebackers, and then they've got Malik Jackson. They got Calais Campbell. They've got and Ngakwe, a guy who was a second or third round pick at defensive end. They got him as well. So they got the pressure. They can get pressure on you, and then they make you throw to these ball hawks that they have back there. So Jacksonville, man, great defense. If Blake Bortles gives them any type of consistent scoring, they're hard to beat. They're incredibly hard to beat. Um, what scares me a little bit though is the fact that Pittsburgh was able to put up 42 points on them. If Pittsburgh can put 42, well, Pittsburgh has Antonio Brown. They've got the best receiver in football. And they got Le'Veon Bell, who's basically the Jaguars are going to be talking trash at the end of time and take down the Steelers on the road. All right. So yeah, man. But I mean, they look like they've made all the right moves. Then they went and got the kid Darius from the Buffalo Bills to come in and add an even another piece. My only question is how long is this gonna last? Because they've got some very very expensive people on that defense. I mean, you got when Jalen Ramsey comes up for a contract, he'll probably be the highest paid corner in football. Malik Jackson is expensive. Darius is expensive. Calais Campbell is expensive. That team is that defense is super fucking expensive. They've got some expensive pieces just on that defense. So how long can that be sustained? Is my only question. Um, but yeah, I mean, they right now in this playoffs, they are fucking immensely talented. Um, and I can't wait to see how they match up against the Patriots. Um, just because all of my predictions have seemed to have seemingly been wrong, other than the Patriots and the Saints, I'm gonna go with the Patriots to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and hope that the Jacksonville Jaguars are able. You know what? Let me shut up. I'm going with the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to beat the Jacksonville. I absolutely guarantee that the Patriots are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, I do. But I can't wait to see how Jacksonville matches up against the Patriots in this game. Um, if I was the defensive coordinator, I would put Jalen Ramsey one-on-one with Rob Gronkowski. I would put him one-on-one with Rob Gronkowski and tell him to take him out the game. Then I will put AJ Bouye on on M on you know what? No, you can't do that. You'll probably put shit. See, that's the thing with the Patriots. They got a ton of fucking weapons still. If I put Jalen Ramsey on Rob Gronkowski, then I would have to put AJ Bouye on Cook. And I don't like that matchup as much as I like Ramsey on Cook. But I gotta have somebody to be able to guard. Maybe you and I don't as good as those linebackers are. I don't know if I want one of them on Gronkowski. I would rather have Jalen Ramsey on Gronkowski. So maybe I take my chances with Cook. Maybe I put Ramsey on Gronkowski, put Boye on Amendola, and put Myrick or whatever the hell his name is on Cook. Cook might eat in that game, but the other players are not going to be there. Then you have to focus on those running backs coming out of the backfield. The Patriots like to use those guys. They like to get those guys into space against a linebacker or against your safety, and it's not a good matchup for anybody. White and that other kid, those are not good matchups. So you want to I don't even know, you have to scheme it in a way where you don't end up with a linebacker on James White or a linebacker on that other little guy that they got from the Browns. You know what I mean? Put Church on Gronk. That is not a good matchup. They're gonna get roasted. Jags pass rush is insane. Now the thing about this is how you beat the Patriots to me though. You know that Tom Brady is slow as shit east going laterally. He's slow as shit going laterally. So you've got Darius and you've got Malik Jackson up the middle. That's where you have to win. You've got to win right up the middle of the field and right up the A gap to get to Brady and force him off of his spot, force him to move laterally. Then you have to come down in the box with those big cornerbacks you got out, and you've got to knock those guys on their ass. You got to come down and bump and jam and get up on those receivers and not give Brady time and not give them free releases. Gronkowski cannot get a free release. Even if you're going to put they do, but the coverage, I just won't put them in coverage versus Gronkowski. There's not a lot of linebackers that I want to see one-on-one with Rob Gronkowski. Luke Kuechly might be one of the only guys. And maybe that kid from Tampa a few years ago, I'll put him on him. But you have to be fast, big, and athletic to guard Gronkowski. And I just don't trust anybody. Um, Miles Jack against Gronkowski. Maybe, maybe. Miles Jack is good and he's fast. Maybe, but that's what I would do. You gotta get down on the line of scrimmage and you gotta put your hands on those Patriots receivers. You gotta rough them up at the line of scrimmage, knock them off there. Don't let them get any free releases. You've got to get pressure up the A gap and get into Brady's face and force him to move. And then the other thing that you must do to beat the New England Patriots is whenever the refs aren't looking, you got to kick them in the balls so they don't make stupid fucking calls against you. Seriously. Whenever they're not looking, just walk over and kick them in the balls. Just kick them square in the nuts. Every single, because they're gonna make some of the stupidest fucking calls against you. They'll give the Patriots an extra fucking second on the clock when it doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, they do weird shit for the Patriots in the playoffs, like we saw yesterday. Even though, hey, some people, like, I went to work today and I have a guy who's from Boston, and he was like, well, the refs didn't put 35 points on the board. That is actually true. But the refs did keep drives moving and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for my brothers up north, in Duval. Shout out to all of everybody. I got family up in Duval. My brother visits Duval frequently. I have a lot of family in Jacksonville. And but next week is a very tough challenge, man. Next week is a very tough challenge. And they need to play just like they played today. They have to play mistake-free football. Bortles has to make the big plays when they're there. They have to run the ball with Fournette and Yeldon, and they've got to get pressure on Brady and force him to move off of his spot. Don't allow him to step up in the pocket, and allow the tackles to push the pressure around him because he's okay with stepping up. He just has no side to side quickness. He's not going to get away from anybody. You just have to push that pressure up like Grady Jackson did with the Falcons last year. He got up into Brady's face and whacked him around a lot last year in that first half. And then he got tired, and that's when they lost last year. But if you remember that, that's exactly how the New England Patriots had such a rough game versus the Falcons last year. It was because of that big man in the middle getting pressure right up into the nose of Tom Brady. But anyway, man, I'm about to sit back, kick back, and watch this Saints game. Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. Excellent secondary of Minnesota versus Drew Brees, one of the best to ever do it. Um, and then next week it'll be whoever wins this game versus the Eagles, and of course Jags versus Patriots. So I'll be back, man. After this game is over, we'll talk about that game and even more. Let me know how you felt about the game. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @casual, @KSUWELL. That is my Twitter handle. I'm out of here. Peace.